How you all doing? This is Nathaniel Swopes of Swope Center. Today I want to talk about boxing star Devin Haney. Devin Haney was recently arrested because the cops found uh, a firearm in his vehicle. This also stems after the recent events of famous boxer Tank was recently released from jail after serving, I believe he served about 3 months in jail for disobeying parole. So right now I'm going to read you the article from TMZ. Boxing star Devin Haney was arrested on Thursday morning following a night out in Hollywood after cops say they found after the cops say they found an automatic handgun in his car during a routine traffic stop. The 30-year-old fighter, who was coming off a huge win in his last fight, was out at Catch LA on Wednesday when just minutes after he left a hotspot around midnight. Law enforcement tells TMZ Sports cops pulled over his ride and due to an unsafe lane change and failure to use the turn signal. According to authorities, Haney was not driving, but the person who was who was told office who told officers during the stop that there was a firearm inside of the ride. Cops say they then got Haney and his security out of the car, and when they searched the vehicle, they say they found a semi-automatic handgun under the driver's seat. Law enforcement tells us no one took ownership of the gun, and since the car was registered to Haney, he was arrested. He was arrested and booked on felony possession of a concealed weapon. Jail records show he was released at 8:12 a.m. Thursday on 35,000 bail. He's due court for a hearing on the matter next month. Haney has become one of the biggest stars in boxing after recording impressive wins the last couple of years in several top-notch boxers. Prior to his arrest, Haney got into a Twitter spat with Teofimo Lopez, I believe his name is, and appeared to challenge him to be his next fight. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Lopez is the retired boxer who wants to come out of boxing to face Haney. And again, I apologize for the pausing and the delays in reading the article. But this is an unfortunate event as we see another talented African American boxer being arrested. So hopefully the gun does belong to one of his security guards, and the security guards can, I guess, in a sense, take the case. Um, Devin Haney, the gun was, like I said, found under the driver's seat. It wasn't found under Devin Haney's seat. He was not driving the car. So, definitely like to see updates to see what happens. Because this is coming at the prime of his career. Again, he's 30-0. He just had an amazing win in his last fight. There was a lot of controversy. A lot of people didn't believe he won that fight, but he came out victorious. Again, the same thing kind of happened to Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis, he got arrested after a huge win. I believe the boxer name was Ryan Garcia. He had a huge win. TKO beating that fighter. Then he was arrested for disobeying his probation. And this also stems after, we've seen a lot of the things with John Morant and his gun issues. John Morant received an NBA max deal, and then he's had several issues, 2 incidents with guns. And I believe it's 3 because there was one incident that he didn't have a gun, but it was alleged that his friend pointed a red eye laser at Indiana Pacers player from a car as though he would shoot him. So, there is a lot of things going on in the state of sorry, not in the state of Illinois, but in the United States. There's a lot of shootings and a lot of killings, and we've seen in LA where a lot of celebrities have been robbed, and we saw a celebrity rapper went to Roscoe's and was killed. So we do know that a lot of celebrities do need to protect themselves, but do a lot of I'm not saying it was his gun, but a lot of celebrities need to do a better job of having armed security around them with legal guns. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do any good to have your friends around you or turn your friends into security guards, and you have an illegal gun and they have an illegal gun, because then you all are going to jail. So Devin Haney is, I'm pretty sure he's a millionaire, and instead of having your friends around you with guns, our African American celebrities need to do a better job of hiring actual armed professional security to protect themselves legally, so less of this is happening. And we also need a lot of our celebrities to stop carrying guns, because I also was listening to old radio show with Patrice O'Neal, and they talked about Plexico Burress, who was a Hall of Fame wide receiver with the New York Giants. And I believe after they had a great season, he was arrested for shooting himself in a club. He had a gun in his pocket and he made a mistake and shot himself. And he ended up going to jail for that because he had a gun in a club. And our athletes, our young African American athletes, have to get away from carrying guns and do a better job, as I said before, of hiring legal security guard, not hiring your friends who have illegal guns as well. And a lot of our athletes need to get away from the stigma of just carrying weapons in general. They don't need to carry weapons. It's getting too many of our young black athletes in trouble. Like I said before, we do know a lot of the places in the United States are very dangerous. Not just in LA. We've seen, there was 2 recent incidents where a young man went inside of a Mariano's and shot his ex-girlfriend to death. There was an incident in Waukegan, Illinois, where a young man shot his girlfriend and her friend to death. So we know that gun violence is rampant in the United States, but these athletes have enough money to protect themselves legally instead of protecting themselves illegally and still falling into the trap of getting in trouble with law enforcement. So it's unfortunate what's happening to Devin Haney. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully one of the security guards or his friends is their gun, or even if it's not their gun. We heard what Boosie said, that a lot of the times if instead of, like Boosie was saying, instead of me getting in trouble because I'm the breadwinner in the group, usually a younger guy in the group would take the case and things like that. So hopefully the gun is not Devin Haney. So we also, back in the day with Puff Diddy or Sean Combs, him and the rapper Sean, there was an incident where somebody got killed. And we don't know if actually Sean killed the guy or P. Diddy killed the guy, but Sean took the fault and took the case. So we've seen that a lot in Black America. Even as a teacher, I'm a school teacher, and seen it to where in high school a lot of girlfriends would take a gun case for their boyfriends and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that the security guards or his friends should take a gun case for Devin Haney if the gun is not theirs. But what I'm more so saying is that, and what I'm pleading with a lot of our black athletes, is they have to stop carrying guns and stop getting in this trouble, because it's not a good, they're not being good role models for our youth. And a lot of our youth may think it's cool to carry guns. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy. Even one of my students say, I want to be just like John Morant. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to carry guns like John Morant, but I want to be just like John Morant. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy for him to even say that. And a lot of our young athletes have to, even though we know they have to protect ourselves, like I said, celebrities are being killed, especially in LA, robbed and killed. We saw Nipsey Hussle get shot and killed. So I'm not saying not to protect yourself, but you need to protect yourself legally to stay out of trouble, because at the end of the day, you're still a role model to these young black and brown children. So again, I hope the best for Devin Haney. I hope he can get out of this case. And again, this is Nathaniel Swopes of Swope Setter signing out. Again, I apologize for the delays and the pause in reading the article, and you all have a good one.